Well, good morning there, sports fan. Got the old girl warming up. Right off the bat this morning, got a fella call. Needing some welding done on a trailer, so let's go get our Friday morning started. Yeah, this really ain't the way I want to start it out Friday morning, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. We go down there, what we do, we hustle around trying to make $1 in there and yonder. So, we pull it in here, got to go do a little welding on the trailer for a fella. Welded this piece on a couple of times, but the way they slide these parts off of it, they keep banging that angle iron. And I tell the guy, you know, I can weld that all the way across and put him a ramp on there, but he don't want to do that just yet. So maybe after I weld it up 3 or 4 more times, we might do something like that. But hey, it don't really matter. I offer a suggestion. They don't want to do it. They keep paying me to come do the same thing over and over. Ain't nothing like having some repeat business now. Well, I hope you can tell there how this is cupping out right there where those parts is hitting that back. That's, I don't know, 14 gauge, something like that. So it's not real thick, but we're gonna see if we can get it put up there and weld it back on for him right quick. I gotta run out to the shop and get them pins and get them back down here in just a little bit before the truck shows up. We need to replace this angle. See how that's dipped right there? How high it is up there. You got to have something there. When they slide these shooting houses off, the legs keeps hitting that and knocking it off. What I want to do is replace this angle and then take a piece and take it all the way back to this. You can see where it's shiny right there. There's a cross brace under right there, and let's weld it back down to there and give him a better ramp to slide them things off of. Well, all right there, sports fans, we got this here welded up. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to talk them into letting me replace this angle. All right, sports fans, here we go. Our next project, we gotta make some of these. Little old tube there, 3/4 by not very much. We've got these fittings here, and I gotta bore this out to get our new tube, which is this one, to where it will slide over it and weld it. I got this tubing and stuff from McMaster Car, and the thing I like about them, you can go in there and order 2 foot, 1 foot, 6 foot, or whatever. All these little different projects I do. But one thing, be careful of, when you get it in there and you punch this button and it brings it up, you better check, because it gives you all of them, and you'll end up being unordered a piece of material right there that you can't use because you done mashed the wrong button and didn't look when I put the parameters in of what I wanted. But the other deal, when it pops up, that was the one that came up on the screen, and I didn't check it, so I didn't check the shipping on it either, and that was kind of high because it got here the next day. So anyway, anybody need that piece of material for something? I hope, maybe. All right, all I'm gonna do here is change out this tool. I'm gonna put a little old boring bar in there. We'll check it and get everything set, and probably don't need all of that. And get the height and everything set on it. One nice thing about having that digital readout, I'll try to turn it where I might can do that too. Turn that where you can see all of that too, I hope. I'm trying to do a better job on my videoing. Like I said before, I'm not a videographer, I'm a welder and a machinist. If I was a videographer, I'd be doing videos on how to do videos. Well, let's either tear all this, move all this around and set it up off of the my tailstock, or just set it up by eyeball, and I expect that's probably what we're gonna do today. That looks pretty doggone close. Now, need to go up a little bit more. Okay, I can't get everything set just like I want it, so I'm gonna end up taking it and tipping it back a little bit so y'all can see those readings there. Watch me do it on the DRO. So first thing I'm gonna do when I get this out, I'm gonna work this one out, and then I'm gonna set that to 0 when I get it at 3/4, and then the next one I put in there, all I gotta do is back it out until I get to my 3/4 or 0, and it'll be 3/4. Let's see how this gonna work. Wasn't too bad for eyeballing it, was it? Well, I'm gonna slide y'all on down the way a little bit. $667. All right, we entered our, roll it back down here and get where we can see everything again. We entered our number, that's 667, well it come up 669. All right, I don't remember exactly where we was. My darn phone cut off, said the storage was too full, and I still had emails in there from 2019. It's a great day in the morning. But anyway, we're gonna try to get caught back up here and see if we can get that right there bored out to about 750. Like I said, I know what I got now. It's 6.66. I don't like that number. We're gonna have to go 6.67. And we're gonna add that up to, that ought to come back out now to 750. That gonna be right? Sure. And when we get to 750, then we'll have our number we need. So let's put our safety glasses on and see what we can come up with. Try that. It measures 706. So that's gonna put us at, measured at 706. I'm gonna put us at 745. See what the difference is there, I'm not quite sure. All right, that's 753 according to these, which is pretty close to what we need to be. All right, I just checked it and our part to go in there. See how good you can see that. But she machined out pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna cut her pieces. I'm gonna see if I can get that set up on a positioner where it'll roll straight. So our piece on the end won't be wobbly. See if we can get her tacked up. I could do it on my lathe, but I don't want to have to set up on my lathe and then set up somewhere else too. So I'm gonna see if I can get that set up that way. All right, we don't got these right here. I just cut that off with a pipe cutter, so we're gonna kind of clean that hole up a little bit. All right. I got just a little burr left in it. Probably gonna end up taking a reamer, bumping that thing a little bit. Now then, that's all that took. Okay, so here's what we got to do. That's got to slide in there so far. I don't know how far. I may thread me something in that thing to make a stop. I don't know. Let me study on that and see what we can come up with. Well, the first thing I'm gonna try, I got this flaring tool. Now this is for steel tubing. The I don't know if you can get to where you can see it in there or not. It turning. That's eccentric. It rolls around the outside. It doesn't just straight push in there and turn it. I'm gonna roll that around there a time or two. Kind of roll that out some. See if it'll catch on that edge. Well, that did flare it a little bit, looks like. Ain't holding my mouth right there. There it goes. Look at there. Hey, that'll work right there. I can set that, they'll all be the same length. They'll stop at the same place. And I bet you she's pretty close. Well, it may not be that close, but. And I may just set it up in my positioner, lock this in, put a roller out here. Just kind of pick that up some, just hold that straight. That's all it's got to be. Then I can tack it and weld that off right there. Okay, we'll level that way. We're gonna plumb it this way. So now that's plumb, that's level. I took a straight edge, came off of that nut, and that gap the same all the way down. It's hard to hold all this stuff, but that gap's the same all the way down. Did that with a 2-foot. So our part is set up in her positioner like she needs to be. All right, now what y'all think? You think we ought to MIG it or TIG it? Probably gonna MIG it. Cause I can tell you right now, mashing that start button to make that thing air spin, adjusting the amperage with a foot pedal on that right there, feeding wire with one hand and tigging with the other, kind of like flying a helicopter. I ain't never flew a helicopter before, but I've done that other. So, but I think I can set my MIG up. This is just a test piece. We got, I think a little over 8 inches extra on this. I've got 3 extra nuts. Of course, I can always clean them up and bore them back out, but we're gonna make a few test runs on this thing, try to get it set up so when we go into the production mode, them things will look kind of like it was done at a machine shop. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, got to be in the first hole. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this cut off, clean back up. I believe I got my setting about right. The problem is trying to get my MIG gun pointed. I need it pointed in that direction. And I gotta readjust all this back here and see if I can get that there done. All right, so we can get all this right here. I won't be wasting material. Like I said, I got like 8.5 inches of this extra. I'm gonna take a porta band, cut this off, and then I'm gonna put this in the lathe and just clean that up right there so we can use that till we get everything set just like we want it. Pretty close to what it was. Well, something has changed on my camera set, and I don't know what it is, but we're gonna try this. Here we go. All right, hang on a minute. How about that? I think that turned out pretty good. I think that's doable right there. Take this thing, let's make one and see what she looks like. All right, here we go. righty, we'll get that there brushed up. I believe everybody got that there figured out. I don't think that looks too bad at all. A little too much light, but I wouldn't care if that right there onto the tube was a little flatter, but I don't think I can get that on there and that tube being that thin without started really eating up that tube. Try to get where you can see. See that right there where it's already burning through that tube a little bit right there. So I can't get any more heat on the tube. Well, today I sat there and I wanted to read about how Saul became Paul and met Jesus on the road to Damascus. But I got a bookmark here, and on the back of the bookmark, I was sitting there one day and looking at I got to thinking about how arguments start. Why do they start? Why do people argue? Then I got to thinking, well, they argue either to have the desire to have possessions or things or whatever. The desire to feel pleasure. They want to feel pleasure out of something. The desire to be proud and in power. And now how do you cure arguments? Humility. 4 things to diffuse arguments. Give it unto God. Get wise to Satan, because Satan is pushing that. Satan is telling you that you want all of this stuff. Grow closer to God with quiet time, and be willing to ask for forgiveness. Because pride ends up getting in a lot of that argument. You want to be right. You want to be, it's all about you and your pride to be right and prove somebody else wrong. And most times people will do that because they think if I can get louder to you, I'll win. But you done lost, because you go to hollering and screaming and throwing a fit. You the one gonna look like a fool when it's all ended up and over with. Believe me, I can testify to that, because I have been that fool many times. But thanks to God and Jesus, they lifted that off of me. I don't have a lot right now. I mean, I say I don't have, I got everything. I've got a place that keeps me dry when it rains, warm when it's cold, cool when it's hot. I've got vehicles to get around in. I've got everything that I need to survive on this earth. And the main thing I've got is Jesus Christ in my heart. Because I know with him that my life here on earth, although it may end in this body, I'll have eternity with him. Well, all right, that's pretty much gonna wrap us up on this episode. I'm gonna cut that to length and deburr the end of it. But the fellow's supposed to show up tomorrow, and we're going to make sure that that's right. He's gonna bring the tube and stuff to slide up in there. We wanna make sure that those are like they want it before we go ahead and build all of them, and they all be wrong. So I believe we got a process pretty well worked out, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. And if you liked it, give us a like and a follow, and or subscribe. Sure would appreciate it. Comment on anything you want to. If I don't like it, I won't answer you back. No, I'm just picking. I try my best to answer about everybody, except some of them, you know, they just being, you know what they're being, and I ain't fooling with them. They ain't gonna drag me down to that level. It's just like I told you a while ago, a lot of people just want to be right and everything. So I don't care. I do things the way I do it. If you don't like the way I do it, and I know everybody does things different, so you don't like the way I do it, that's fine, you know, but suggest stuff, because I'm not always right either, and I've seen a lot of things that people suggest that I liked, and I've tried. Parts of it works, parts of it don't. Like when I was learning to weld, I watched 40 or 50 different people weld. How do you do this? How do you do that? I would take part of what they did. I couldn't do all of the things they did, but I could get part of it, and then I could adapt it to what I wanted it to do. So, but anyway, that's about gonna wrap up this episode. Y'all be careful, stay safe, go to church on Sunday. See you later.